I want my baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back ribs. I want my baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back rib chili, baby back.
If you like this video, please hit the like button.
I don't know what happened. Hey, Plume, there you are, buddy. What's up?
Yeah, that
Did
was
I hit a button?
I accidentally clicked off and then I had to come back in. That was my fault.
No, that's okay. That's all right. We'll rearrange this and do this and do this. And there we go. Hey, and I'm going to put me over here and go. That way I end up at the bottom of the list. Hello and welcome to the show, everybody. Yay. It's all good. It's all good. So, dude, welcome to the Gamers Council. I'm your host, WEBDAVE, along with my co-host, Hargeet Chani. Hargeet, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. An interesting week. We had lots of stuff, both PlayStation and Xbox.
No, I did.
We'll go over some fun
tonight. Just a little bit of stuff to talk about. A little bit of news and stuff like that we'll be going over with the news master himself, the daily news grind, which I absolutely love, which is the Plume Gaming Network. I watch it religiously every day, and it's on. I'm telling you, that is the first thing that I watch as far as gaming content every single day that is on. Plume, Tony, welcome, buddy. How you doing?
I am doing great. I appreciate you watching the daily show. Thank you for having me on. It's lots of news to talk about, as Hargeet said. Lots of Xbox stuff to go over. I'm excited to go over the Tokyo Game Show and everything. So should be a fun show.
I think so too. I think so. And then of course we have the mysterious, the mischievous. Oh, here he is. Here he is. The Red Wolf from Red Wolf Renegade. What's up, buddy? You can't hide.
What's up, man?
You can't hide.
I can't hide.
What's up,
You
dude?
know me. Yeah, thanks so much for having me on, man. I couldn't make it. Scheduling stuff happened last time, and here I am. So thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to talk about nothing but Metal Gear Solid Delta for the next 2 hours and go.
Excellent, excellent. I think I got that video queued up somewhere. All right, cool. And anyway, so no, guys, dude, welcome everybody in the chat. Already got up to 60 people here, either watching on X or on YouTube. Thank you all so much for doing that. I'm actually going to turn the overall volume down just a little bit because I'm blowing myself out. I know it's hard to believe that I could be too loud. Anyway, yeah, actually, before we actually go around the horn, Hargeet, we got a member renewed up again for 12 months. Adidas 20. Can you believe that, man? He's been here for 12 months. That is so awesome. Thank you so much, sir. And he also has a super chat if you don't mind reading that.
Sure. So we got Adidas 20, $2. Hello, everyone. Big Plume, keep the videos coming.
I appreciate that. I will, Adidas. Don't worry. They aren't stopping anytime soon.
Yeah. Excellent. Now, I know you do have, I guess, some pending good news coming your way, which I assume that's probably going to throw a wrench in the show for a few days. So,
yeah, we'll see. We'll see what my wife allows me to get away with, but we'll see. Yeah, it should though. Probably maybe a day or so. Should be.
Yeah.
With a newborn coming.
Be too bad, right?
It'll be a little tough, but
priorities. That family first thing always gets in the way. I'm just kidding. No. That's and thank her for us that she let you be on tonight.
Yeah, no, she's taking the night, so I get the night off. So it's a nice, even though she's about 8 months pregnant, so she's hanging in there.
Very cool. Well, congratulations again on that, dude. That's so awesome. That is so awesome. Bringing another gamer into the world. I love it. All right, so let's go around the horn real quick, just to kind of as we start to fill up. We're already up to 75 people. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Gamers Council. Greatly appreciate it. If you're not a subscriber, please hit the subscribe button. We're just 11 away from hitting our 3K goal, which would be really nice to hit. But and if you are a subscriber and you have a secondary channel, subscribe to that one too. No, I'm just kidding. But just kidding. But no, it just we appreciate you very much. Share this out if you don't mind. And if you're a member, it's only $1 to join membership, and then you get access to all the cool emojis, which are people already starting to burn up. So if you want to use any of these emojis in your conversations and your discussions in the chat, more than welcome to do so. There they are, all of them so far. More added all the time, and sometimes we switch a few around. So we do appreciate that. Well, I said membership is just a buck because we just want to have you guys have a little fun, as it were, with our memberships. So all right. So with that said, let us start with Tony. What games are you playing, or shows or movies have you been watching?
I've been recently just dabbling in a bunch of things. Like I've gone back to my backlog as I'm waiting for tomorrow, which is going to be Shattered Space DLC. I'm excited for, but I've gone back and played Sonic Frontiers, which is actually a fun Sonic game. It really, I like what they did, and I hope that they continue with that in the future games. I played Aria History Untold a little bit. I jumped into Age of Empires, Age of Mythology Retold, and I just checked out a little bit of the Metaphor ReFantasio demo, which is pretty cool. I'm excited for that game to come out. In terms of shows, that we were talking about wrestling behind the scenes a bit. I just started the Mr. McMahon series on Netflix. So I watched the first episode of that, which is pretty good so far.
I'm interested in watching that myself. I was kind of waiting for it all to drop. First, I thought it was just like a special, but since they said it was several episodes, I'm like, I'm going to get it all downloaded and then I'll sit and watch it because I want to binge the whole thing. I know I won't want to stop and be like, what happens next?
Yeah, there's a few. There's I think there's like 6 episodes there now on there or something. So I get in there and watch an episode when I can. I'll continue it after the show tonight.
Very cool. Very cool. Red Wolf, buddy, what games are you playing? What shows or movies are you watching?
I had just finished. So there's 2 sequels coming out in Life is Strange Double Exposure, or Life is Strange 4, and also Dragon Age 4 or Dragon Age Veilguard. So I just finished up playing Life is Strange Remastered. Now, I've played it before. I'm a big fan. That game is such a vibe. Played that, beat that, and about it took me 70 hours. And people in chat are like, what were you doing for 70 hours in Life is Strange? There's a lot to read, a lot of collectibles. So I lost a lot of time in that, and beat Dragon Age Inquisition for the first time in, I don't know, 7 years. Put 124 hours in that, beat it. Finally did the DLC, the Trespasser DLC. So no spoilers there, but oh my God, man. That it just made me so excited for Veilguard with the story beats and what happens at the end of that with Trespasser. Ooh, so good. So been playing that, and of course Starfield. I was actually just playing it just a little bit ago, trying to get Andrea to love me. So I'm trying to do all the good things that she likes, meaning not killing innocent people and stuff. So getting ready for Shattered Space. Movie wise, I haven't started The Penguin yet. I really want to get into that because I'm a huge Batman fan. But I did watch recently the movie. It's a M. Night Shyamalan Trap, and I loved that movie. I did not. It's so hard to talk about M. Night Shyamalan movies if you haven't seen it without spoiling everything. Just watch it. Just watch it. I can't even anyway. Yeah, so that's what I've been into. It's
I agree.
Good. Yeah.
Yep. No, his movies they always had that little twist. And even on now, his movies, it's coming. It's
right.
and then sometimes when you hit it, probably I assume this one, you're like, what?
And the thing is,
wait a minute.
Usually his twists are very last minute, and all I'll say is this one is not. And so yeah, so don't watch any trailers. I'm telling you, I went in blind, and maybe that's why I loved it so much. I went in completely blind to this movie. And just watch it. If you guys are a fan of it in chat, go check out Trap. It's great, and it's Josh Hartnett back and beautiful as ever. I don't know. I'm like, what? This guy's like 70 years old. He still looks like he's shiny golden 24-year-old from Pearl Harbor or whatever, however old he was. But anyway, yeah, it's great.
Very good. Very cool. Very cool. Hargeet, anything you've been playing, watching? Are you done archiving yet?
Oh yeah, that's been done. Yeah, no, I was getting through Mozart's Requiem, which for nobody's heard of. It's a little indie game. It's on Xbox.
I saw that you were playing that earlier. And I sent you the link, and I was like, "Ooh, I hope he can get away from the game to come join us." But so cool. That's about it, huh?
That's about it. Yeah, it's busy otherwise.
That 50 podcast you're on, right?
That work, and then I also was trying to get that Pro so I can sell it, which I did. I got the 30th anniversary whole thing, whole slate.
Wow,
You did. So, I guess, are you going to wait till it comes in and then put it up online to sell, or what?
I'm gonna wait for it to be here, take pictures of it, put it up, one big bundle, the whole thing, like the picture they have, Pro, Slim, Portal. All the controllers, got the whole thing. Here you go.
You're not going to hold the 30th anniversary for 30 years and then try to make a huge cash out on it?
Nah. I'll take my money now.
Yeah, there you go. Well, hopefully when actually you do post that somewhere to sell, let us know, and I'd love to put the link, because I'm sure people would probably like to follow that just to kind of watch how it goes. And are you going to do like an auction? Are you going to, or at least maybe a buy it now auction kind of thing? Or?
Let's see what happens. Yeah.
$35,000.
Well, I'm curious if it
35 would be freaking hilarious, but no, not that high.
Are you at least trying to double it, at least to see what happens?
Right now, just the Pro is selling for $5.
There was a listing for the 30th. Someone put $35,000 on it, but I doubt they're.
And then they had 50,000. Then somebody had a cool million, and then that all went away. And then so now it's like the highest end is like 12, 13 in that range. But there's a lot of 6, 7, 8, so, and it's dwindling. It's being sold, either that or they're auction, they're timing out or something like that. But but there are people buying it, because I can see the completed ones that actually got sold. So.
Isn't that crazy? That's crazy. Yeah, but we'll see. Hargeet in the money. Oh goodness. So guys, we have so many topics we can go to, but I want to play a little clip first that I thought was kind of cool. And this is I guess it's the newest ad that they have from Xbox. They just I think it dropped today or yesterday. So let's do a share screen. I know I'm Mr. on top of it, aren't I? Wait, that's it. Yeah. So guys, any of you guys familiar with the Replacer ads that they did a few years ago?
Yeah.
Any of you guys familiar with that? Yes, no, maybe?
Yeah, from Call of Duty, yeah.
Yep. So he's back. And this one is probably one of the more funny ones that I've seen that they had. So we'll play it real quick, because it's actually pretty cool. So basically the premise is to, you want to play Call of Duty so bad, how do you get away with ordinary life and still enjoy the game, full throttle? Well, the Replacer will take care of that for you. He'll take over the mundane duties so you can continue to play Call of Duty. And here we go.
Hi, baby. I'm back. You see, I am the Replacer. I replace you so you can play Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Really good.
Where's Dad?
I'm your daddy now.
Hello, Daddy.
I like that.
Mittens is stuck again.
Mittens, you did this to yourself.
Sir, can you please just unlock the doors?
Just give me 5 stars. Now get the hell out of my car. Tacos, anyone? Oh, no! Blessing and gills for all.
Your Holiness!
Kiss your own baby, lady. Bless you. Call of Duty Black Ops is back.
Oh, guys. What do you think about that marketing, guys?
Oh my god, Peter Stormare is such a legend, man. I love him in everything he's ever done. So funny.
Yeah, it's a good start. You saw a lot of hype around this when it came out.
Now,
Like he's back.
Is that ad actually on like the Xbox channel? Is that why it has all the Xbox logos, or is that ad actually like that with Xbox all over it?
No, that's the by far it was. I think that's the actual ad. I think.
Yeah, that's
or at least the online version has all the extra stuff on it. So there could possibly be
page version.
Yeah. Well, that's it was on there. I love it, man. I love it. I hope it's everywhere because, as I said, the more people that buy Call of Duty everywhere, the more money that Microsoft makes to put more into games for us for Game Pass. Just saying. Yay.
Yep.
Game Pass. Anyway, I just had to start with that, man, because I just thought it was pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Play it day one with Game Pass.
Exactly. All right. So I guess what did you find out, Hargeet? Is it anywhere else or is it just on there?
I am muted. Yeah, it's I found it on the Call of Duty page, and it does not have the Xbox logos.
There you go. So there you go. So I mean, it's cool, kind of par for the course kind of thing, but still, I think it's cool that it's something that they're doing, and it's very funny, and so anyway. Oh, let's see here. I'll check that out. All right, cool. So let's talk about which one do we want to talk about first? We want to just kind of touch base on the PlayStation show. Wait, wasn't a showcase. I'm sorry. State of play that we had. So Plume, what were your thoughts on the state of play and anything that stood out for you in that?
So I have like two trains of thought on this entire thing, right? As a showcase for just video games that you get to play pretty much anywhere, I thought it was pretty good. Like there's lots of games that were there that I'm interested in checking out. As a showcase for PlayStation, it was saved at the end, I think, by Ghost, but it's just kind of continuation as to what PlayStation has been giving us for the last 2 years or so. Just not anything that exciting going forward from their first parties that we know of that's coming out. I'm sure they have lots of stuff in development, just not ready to show. So I was kind of expecting maybe a little bit more, maybe more than one game from their first party perspective, but yeah, it was okay. It was okay. And for I'm a little different here when it comes to things I was actually excited for. I was excited for a lot of things, but I was actually happy to see that they have 2 VR games coming out, like the Hitman game and Metro Awakening, I believe it's called. Because I own PSVR 2, and I just absolutely wasted my money on that thing. It's been sitting and hasn't been being used because there's been no content really on the PS5 to play it or anything that I was that interested in. But both those games actually look pretty good. So I was happy about that I'm actually going to get use out of my headset now once they do drop. Metro, I'm probably more excited for, but they showed off 2 games that look pretty good. But like overall, Ghost 2025, the biggest question that I have from that is that it for PlayStation in 2025, or are we going to get is it going to be 3 years where they only really release one big first party game, or is there going to be a big PlayStation showcase at the beginning of 2025 where they finally give us a look of all the stuff that they do have in development? Because I'm sure there's a bunch of stuff that's just not ready to come out. It's been dry from their first parties for about 2 years now. So just kind of my thoughts on it.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I agree with that for sure. That there's it was, there's some people that have said too that they felt like that it was it seemed like it was like all wrapped up, and then they kind of stuck the Ghost right there at the end. They kind of just threw that in to add to it or beef it up or ooh, we better do something to cover our ass because the rest of it doesn't look that great. I don't know. So, Red Wolf, what are your thoughts?
It was an all right. It wasn't. I don't know. Like I walked away from that showcase, just being like, okay, there were some games there. The Hell Is Us looked really unique. That was sort of, it kind of reminded me, it's a weird comparison, but it kind of reminded me of like a post-apocalyptic, it was kind of like Death Stranding meets Dark Souls or something. I don't know, maybe because like high tech, but it's like paranormal kind of thing is why it reminded me of Death Stranding. So it kind of gave me that vibe. And I keep telling myself, I'm like, I'm so done with Souls-like games. And then this comes out and I'm like, damn it. Kind of got me excited to play that. And it's coming to Xbox. Thanks to your little thing you got pulled up here. So that was cool to see. And we heard rumors about Soul Reaver. But I was actually really surprised. I didn't know that it was going to be 1 and 2. That takes me back, man, because Soul Reaver was so much nostalgia there, and it looked pretty good. I always love how they showed the side by side. Like in your head, it was like the best looking thing in the world, and then you see it, and you're like, "Ooh, brother!" But then they showed the new graphics, and it looks smooth, man. So I was really excited about that, and of course. Alan Wake 2. And I'm just listing off third-party stuff because I have a PC, I have a PS4, and I have a Series X. So if they're coming to PC, I can get hyped for it. But other than that, it wasn't like it was awful. It just wasn't anything groundbreaking. Ghost of Yotai. How do we say that? Have we learned how to say that? Is it Yotai or is it Yotai? How do we say that? Hargeet?
No idea.
Great. All right. Well, that looked cool too. And yeah, Plume said he said it best. It wasn't like it didn't like blow my mind, but there was some cool stuff in there that I went, okay, yeah, here we go.
So it was okay, but not great. Okay, so
Yeah.
Let's see. Axel in chat has broke it down phonetically for it. Yotai.
Yotai. Oh, thank you so much.
Yotai. Okay.
Yotai.
Welcome,
That's my
Axel.
favorite rapper.
Good seeing you, buddy. Yeah, what's up? It's Yotai, baby. Goodness. Let's see here. There we go. There you go. Thanks, dude. I appreciate that.
Awesome.
From Iconic Video Games. And if you get a chance, man, go to Axel's channel, Iconic Video Games, and hit that sub button on him. He's literally like 50 away from getting to 500 subscribers. So do that for Axel, man. He's an awesome guy. Has a great podcast. Welcome, Psychonauts. Good seeing you, buddy. So many great members of the chat here. We appreciate that. Thank you all so much for joining us here on your Sunday night. And right now we have almost 200 people here listening to us on X and or watching on YouTube. Thank you all so much. If you're a member of YouTube, hit the subscribe button for us. We're close, very close to getting to 3K. So if you could do that, it'd be great. So Hargeet Chani, what are your thoughts on the PlayStation state of play? State of pisser. I'm just kidding.
Look, I'm also like Plume, like I'm gonna give it a couple of ratings. One is sort of the like, what do I get out of it, and then what is sort of the general PlayStation players' view of it, right? So from my perspective, I'm only looking at exclusives, so I just wanted to see what they had that wouldn't be elsewhere. They did give us updates, so I'll give you some numbers. 24 total games shown, 3 of them remasters, 6 were DLCs, 3 of them are PlayStation only games, 3 of them are PlayStation and PC only games, 2 of them ports, 10 updates on previously known games or announced games, and then 2 new game announcements. So that's kind of a breakdown of what we had. With that, like if they didn't have Ghosts, I was pretty much at a D. It was a pretty boring thing for me because I already knew all that stuff pretty much, right? The new announcement that they had outside of that was the Midnight Walk. It's like, okay, but it's a VR game, and unlike Plume, I do not care about VR. So whenever VR shows up, I'm like, I check out. So on the opposite side of that, like I whatever, right? So cool that they have that. Awesome, whatever. But Ghost did save it. So I'd give it, for me, I'd give it a C because of Ghost. I think, though, if you look at it from a PlayStation player perspective, there's a lot of cool stuff there. Even though there are updates, there's still some new stuff there that's good. So I'd say it's a B to me. I would think that would be a good B, right? You'd have plenty of good things to look at. So I'd rate it about that. An A would be to me to have more of those first party big bangers that you can, that you get updates on or something like that. At least a roadmap, right? We know that there's supposed to be Marathon and Fair Games, right? There's supposed to be Wolverine. There's supposed to be a Venom, right? Which is supposed to be the DLC that might become a little bit bigger and make its own game from Spider-Man 2. None of that was really there, right? So you're like, okay, well, couldn't you give me an update on that? I mean, it's coming, like the year's just kind of ending. What's coming up next year? So I think that would have elevated it a little bit, but it's still, I think it's solid. I think it was still solid if you're a PlayStation player, right? So I'll give it that rating. But for me, it was going to be a fail until Ghost. And then I'm like, cool, that looks good. Though you could look into some of the little aspects of it and say there's some issues. Either way, I'm still excited to see what that game's going to be. Hopefully it'll be good. When it comes to PC, I'll check it out, right? So so that was a good announce. Outside of that, yeah, I was kind of disappointed with it. But the major thing that I find kind of weird, they're launching a new console. They didn't really have anything pronounced saying captured on PS5 Pro.
Right.
Why not? Isn't this your opportunity to do that? Like, you're releasing a console. Like, aren't you like supposed to like make enthusiasm for it? Apparently not, and apparently nobody's enthusiastic because you can still pick the damn thing up. It's in pre-order and you can still pick the damn thing up. Like, that tells you something. Nobody cares about this thing. It's just kind of weird. It's just weird. Like, I would have expected a lot more of those to be, captured on PS5 Pro.
Right.
They didn't care. They really didn't care. Here's a sizzle reel of stuff that is on PS5 Pro, a little 10, 3-second sec. Like, come on, really? How about the entire trailer? PS5 Pro. There you go. Right. What's going on? It's just odd. I don't usually expect that from PlayStation. They're usually on top of those kind of things. They weren't. So I got to give them a big, fail on that piece. But ultimately, from a gaming perspective, if you're a PlayStation gamer, you got plenty of cool stuff there. I thought it was pretty good. There's again, as you showcase, a lot of those games are multi-plats. That doesn't matter though. You get to play them. That's it. That's really the point, right? You get to play them. So I thought it was pretty good. And Ghost saved it. Ultimately, Ghost saved it.
I agree. I do agree with that for sure. Like you said, man, they didn't really, like, they just announced the new system and they didn't, I guess, highlight it in any way. And doing what you said,
Right?
even if it was just simple, it was a small little trailer, like, all this gameplay captured from, because is it really that much better? I don't know.
Who cares if it's better? You just show it anyway, right? You
Yeah.
just say, "Oh, captured on PS5 Pro," just to create the buzz. They didn't even do that.
Exactly.
Like, what are you
Exactly.
doing?
Yeah, and there were several videos put out. Even Dreamcast loser guy, sorry, put out a video talking about it sold out immediately. Of course, what sold out immediately was was the anniversary
The 30th
edition,
anniversary.
which Hargeet will have for sale soon.
Yes.
Just kidding. So if you're missing
Kinda
one,
covered.
Hargeet will take care of you. One lucky person will be able to buy Hargeet, and Hargeet will even autograph the box before he sends it because he's that kind of guy. I'm just kidding.
It's funny when
Hargeet's
the
like, "No,
PS5 Pro dropped. Online, I had thought it sold out everywhere for everything because everyone was making it seem like that. But I'm looking like even here in Canada, you can still pick one up. You can still pre-order it, and I think I saw this morning that they're still available in the UK and the US. So hasn't sold out at all. But the question is that because they just created so much stock, or is it there's not enough people buying it because of the price?
Well, normally
I think
the
it's 'cause of the
scalpers
price.
would pick it up, right? Even
Yeah.
they've kind of said, "Nah, we're good."
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, some of the scalpers may still be sitting on some old PlayStation 5 inventory. Just saying.
Ooh, that'd be a problem.
So
Yeah,
I
I just assumed that it was
full of like 50.
Yeah, I
Go
just
ahead.
assumed that it was a lot of people just running away with when something goes out of stock. It's not necessarily out of stock forever. It just out of stock. We'll update you in 12 to 24 hours or whatever, 4 to 5 business days. And then lo and behold, it's not actually sold out because they've updated it and we're not sold out. Here you go. Here you can make your. I just thought that it was as simple as that on top of scalpers. So I don't know. I wasn't surprised when everyone was like, no, it's not actually sold out. You flipping a-hole. Here it is. Here it is right here in front of you. Everyone's tweeting it out.
Hasn't really sold out.
To be fair, the release of PS5 Pro, like the market conditions are far different than when the PS5 and Series X came out. So, and those sold out were possible again for like 2 years, right? So maybe the logistics and manufacturing is just far better now and easier to make these things. I'm not sure, but I don't think at any point, at least in Canada, I know at no point I saw, because we can't get PlayStation Direct here. We go through Best Buy, and at no point did the pre-order thing on Best Buy ever say it was out of stock.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, it could be that, but I think it's more the demand just isn't there, right? Because they haven't showcased anything, they haven't created any buzz. They basically, and it's hard to now show the difference because you already have something that gives you pretty close to the same graphics just without the frame rate. And so there are going to be elitists that want to have the frame rate. I'm one of them. That's great. That's awesome. But most people are like $700 because it'll run with more frames. I don't care. I don't want that. I just need to play my games, and they'll be happy with what they've got, right? I think that's kind of the problem. It was easier to see that PS4 to Pro and then Xbox One to One X where you actually had that 4K jump, right? That's not happening here. It's like, oh, it's more frames. Okay, for $700. Like, okay, I'm good.
and it's just the price of a console at $700. The market is not used to that. Last time it was at $600 was the PS3, and we saw how bad that launched. So $700, the console market, it's not gonna sell like crazy. They already know what people want to buy consoles at. They already know the pricing that people want to buy consoles at. So it's definitely just for enthusiasts, but it seems like there's not enough right now to even sell it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I agree with that 100%. It's just, the demand isn't quite there, I guess. It seems like it would be different. This particular cycle, because of the pandemic, because of numerous other things, because of the economy, because of a lot of things, this gaming cycle doesn't follow the traditional norms. By this time in a life cycle of a system, you would have like some discounts on the original console. So that, like not necessarily markdowns, but like, at some point they're like, okay, cool. Now we're at a break even point. And so now we're this and we're that and we're, kind of thing. So, but it hasn't been the case. In fact, some of them have gone up in price, $50 more for a digital console, Sony. And then, and then controllers now gone up an extra $5, which they'll say, well, it's shipping, marketing, blah, 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 and all this stuff. Yeah, I get that. But it is a different world that we live in compared to what we did a few years ago. And then, you start talking about which we'll get into slightly, the digital age is really, rearing its head. I like physical as well, but I have bought a lot of digital because it's just more convenient now. So it's they just announced that the Wolverine, Dreadpool, and I say Dreadpool. You gotta love that. Deadpool and Wolverine. Sorry, Jerry Dread. Yeah. So that was coming out. It's been a release date announced for a Blu-ray 4K, which I want to get hard copy plus digital, but it's hard to find. It's not listed on Best Buy or Walmart because they don't carry those copies anymore. So it's kind of harder to get a physical copy than it used to be able to just walk into your local Best Buy and pick it up. And now it's like, no, not gonna be doing it. So it's different, a different kind of animal than it was.
But I still want to get that. And then Prometheus. Yeah, like I had to call ahead of time to GameStop whenever Final Fantasy 7 Reunion was coming out, because I'd found a steelbook. Anyone who follows me knows I love steelbooks, and I had to call ahead of time. I said, "Hey, do you guys still have some of the Xbox copies for Final Fantasy 7 Reunion in stock?" And they're like, "Actually, we never got them." And I'm like, "Why?" I remember I made like a huge deal about that. Where Square Enix is like, people aren't buying our games. Well, if you fucking sell them, then people would buy. But again, physical is not the mainstream right now. People love digital, rightly so. It's way more convenient. But as someone who loves physical, yeah. So nowadays, I just call ahead and make sure that they actually have it, because I don't want to get my hopes up. Soul Reaver, we talked about that. That's not going to get a physical. There's a couple other games I can't think of right off the top of my head that I'll just wait to see. Well, we see a lot of these companies taking advantage of that. Like Limited Run takes advantage. Oh, it sells really well, so we'll jump on that and make limited physical copies. But it's not for everyone. So
yeah, I hate Limited Run is so annoying for me because they charge shipping. I don't know if they charge shipping these days, but to Canada, whenever they get a release, 'cause I like my physical games too. And every time I see collector's editions or all these companies using limited run games, I get so disappointed because there's no way I'm ordering it off of them.
Right.
How much more it costs to get here?
like $40 shipping or something.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, that and then a lot of the stuff you buy in Canada is so much more expensive.
Well, PS5 Pro is after tax is $1,084. So it's crazy.
And that's just regular.
That's
disc,
before
right?
the disc drive and the stand.
Wild.
Wow.
Yeah.
We should ask Jeff
Man.
Keighley how much that is for inflation for American dollars. And
Yeah.
accurately give us. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, he's a piece of work. But anyway, we'll see what happens at his show. Hopefully, we'll have some good surprises there. I guess that's the next quote unquote big show. Will be the Tokyo, and not Tokyo. Will be his the award show, which I get it if Astrobot gets nominated, but if it sweeps the show, I'm done. I'm just saying. It looks okay.
It's gonna win everything, right?
It's gonna win everything. Yeah.
Better not.
Well, we already know all of the big game sites and journalists have already given their love for it, so they're voting on it. It's going to win tons of awards.
Well, have they not played the that I don't know. There's so many great games that are out now that came out this year or just came out that are like, wow, let's not inaugurate them too far yet, and anybody that says that.
But look, it's the 30th anniversary, right? And
Yeah.
this game is specifically going over all the history of PlayStation, right? So it just kind of aligns. There's going to be a celebration of 30th anniversary. There is, right? And for them to just sweep all the awards would just be poetic. It's what they're going to do. You know when they're going to do it.
Yeah. But it's Space Marine 2, excellent call out. That game absolutely looks gorgeous. And from what I understand, the play controls are good. Haven't picked it up yet. Going to be doing that soon. But yeah, and I do have an Astrobot emoji in there that you can use if you need to. So
look, the only way it gets displaced is something like an Elden Ring level thing takes its place. Now, Erdtree did come out this year, but I doubt they're going to give it to a DLC.
Yeah,
is Astrobot the highest rated game this year? It beat Erdtree, right? Am I mistaken?
I think it is the highest rated game.
Yeah, I think it is. Well, there's a good chance. There's a good chance to win.
I don't know. Hellblade 2 looks absolutely beautiful. Just saying. But and controls really well. But that doesn't matter.
Yeah, we had one of my panel members, Assassin. Assassin always talks about the Horizon curse, where anything that launches alongside Horizon gets nominated for Game of the Year. So that would be Stalker 2 and Dragon Age Veilguard. So thanks, Horizon. No, we'll see. That game has Dragon Age has a lot of controversy. I don't know, whatever. But we'll see. We'll see what happens there. Game of the Year.
I do like
Horizon.
This comment.
The Horizon remaster. Oh, sorry, Dave. Go ahead.
No, you're go ahead.
I was going to say the Horizon Remastered is another reason why we're talking about physical versus digital, why we still need those physical games. You guys can see that they raised the price of the PS4 version because of the remastered coming out, so people couldn't get it for cheaper and then pay the $10 upgrade to get
Yeah.
the remastered.
Oh, I didn't see that. Yeah. That's super
But
suck.
you can just go buy the physical version for like $10 and be fine.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, suck it, California. If anyone didn't see that news.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. Apologies to
Oh,
anyone
there
in
you go.
California.
Oh, not at all. That's cool. So anyway, this was nice. I said, nice. Plume's here. Love his content. We all do, buddy. We all do.
Thanks,
Plume is
Fossil.
amazing. Exactly. Like I said, still wakes the deep. It's another great game. Beautiful game, and it's in Game Pass. So there you go. I like that as well. So it's a beautiful game. Welcome out to the over 233 people we have here watching us on X and on YouTube. Thank you all so much. If you're on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. We're trying to get to 3K. I know I'm self-plugging, but I've been told by Ran and others that if you don't promote yourself, who's going to do it for you? So there you go. So so okay, I'll do it. But yeah, so we do appreciate that. We're getting closer, as it were, but not quite where we need to be. So let's see here. What am I doing? Okay, yeah. So we're like 10 away from getting the 3K. So if you haven't subscribed, we would love that you would do so. If not, that's cool too. We'll eventually get there. Let's see here. We do have a super chat.
Sure. Brandon Martin, $2. Nobody Wants to Die Still Wakes the Deep, GOTY.
Yeah. Both great games.
Yeah. I don't know if they'll make GOTY though. We'll see. I think it's gonna be Final Fantasy. It's gonna be Astro. What else did PlayStation put out? Can Concord count? Maybe Concord
I was gonna say, what else did PlayStation put? Yeah. I still need to get into both of those. Nobody Wants to Die and Still Wakes the Deep. The vibe of both of those games are like right up my alley. But at the time, I was so caught up in Dragon Age and Life is Strange, so I need to get back into that.
And that's on sale, isn't it? Dragon's Dogma.
Dragon Age. Oh well, yeah. Dragon's Dogma. Dragon's Dogma is on sale. It's like $10 off or something like that, which is incredible. That game is amazing. Oh my god, Dragon's Dogma 2, peak. Love it.
Very cool. All right, so let's move on, as it were. Let's see what else I got here on the board. Oh yeah, so we'll go to the Tokyo Game Show. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna drop this real quick in here, real quick. A little side subject. It's not on the board. It's an easy one. I just thought it was kind of cool. So speaking of Hellblade 2, they did have a contest, which I thought was pretty cool. Where they I think this is right. Yeah, there we go. So they had a contest. Ninja Theory did, which was the Senua Saga photo contest, where you used the in-game photo mode and could render pictures. And one of the runners up, which was someone who's been on our panel before, and he actually has his own. Here I'm going around jungle. Let me pull the video up. Oh goodness. I guess I hit the wrong button. Every one of those days, Hargeet. It's like, what's wrong with Dave? Did he have a stroke? Yeah, I had a stroke. That's exactly what happened. Oh, Jesus Christ. NerdPropellant. Just drew a blank. Okay, so NerdPropellant, who has NerdPropellant on Etsy.com, and you actually have a discount for from Gamers Council's discount. You get 20% off all his product. But he actually entered, and he actually was one of the runners up in this contest, which I thought was pretty damn awesome. So yeah, so here is if you haven't seen it, let me blow it up here where everybody can see it. It's actually really cool. It's a little 30-second clip, but some of the, I mean, I'm looking at this like, how in the hell did they get these shots? So. Right there.
Wow.
Dude, God.
That was the winner at the end. Isn't that
That's
awesome?
all in game. Wow.
Yeah, all using the in-game engine. Just absolutely amazing. We'll see it one more time because it's so cool.
I can't even understand
Dude,
what's
that was,
happening in the winter photo, but it looks amazing, and that's probably what
Yeah.
they thought too. They're like, I have no idea what I'm looking at, but hey, give them the crown. I spent so much time in photo mode in that game. It was not even right. What should have taken me 5 hours to beat, I spent like 10 hours in that game in photo mode. It's crazy because you sort of like forget that you're not in anything pre-rendered because that's just not the norm. We're not used to that. So there were so many moments, especially when she's coming up out of the water, where she, the water's right here, like at her nose. I spent so much time trying to grab footage for a video for that, and it's just insane how you can pan around and everything is just like, it's just insane. That game is just a technical feat with an A, not like the foot, but yeah, it's crazy. It's beautiful stuff. Love photo mode, Hargeet.
It's cool. It's cool that it's there. A lot of people like it. Get some cool shots, and that they spent the time and do the work on it. It's amazing. I've played around with it, and I'm like, after a couple of minutes, I'm like, I can't get it to look good. So like it, I'm like, yeah, I'll make a cool thumbnail. Not happening. My skill level on that particular thing is not exactly there. And apparently, one of the hot topics in chat is Hargeet eating. Let the man eat. He's hungry. And chat says, but you know what? Hargeet has to eat, and we appreciate him being here. We hit him up at supper time, so so anyway, it's all good. It's all good. Goodness. Anyways, I just thought I would share that out there. I just thought that was neat. We didn't see it, and congratulations to NerdPropellant on coming in a runner-up. Well deserved, and he's always very artistic and looks amazing. And his product and stuff is really awesome. In fact, I've got one of his light boxes that I'm when I redo the studio here, probably in the next couple of weeks. I'll be on display as well. The from the TV show Fallout, and it looks so cool. So yeah, but that'll be up behind me as well, but not today. So all right, so let's move on to another subject, which is the Tokyo Game Show. There was so many things that came out in it, so many good things. There's a couple of clips and stuff I can probably play in the background while we're talking about it. But the one thing I thought was kind of cool. Some of the people are like, what's the big deal about being in Tokyo and all that kind of stuff. Well, this is one of the things, the connections, the people that they talk to, that they or have maybe been part of the Xbox family before, that makes a really good the connections to maybe build on again, like from Mistwalker. I can't even pronounce his name. Anybody?
Sakaguchi.
Yeah, I can try to. You guys have it?
I think you nailed it. Yeah, that sounds right.
Say that again, Plume.
It sounded right.
Sakaguchi.
There you go.
There you go.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
There you go. From Mistwalker, who was one of the original guys who worked on Final Fantasy. So yeah, so that's a kind of a big deal. And that they're showing them that that game is also coming to the Xbox, and that they've that they're just hanging out with him. It's kind of like obviously it doesn't really lead to anything or anything, but I mean that they're buddy with him, and they're gonna do whatever they can to to continue to get his. Yeah, he's the father of Final Fantasy. Good call out there, MJ Dark,
Okay, gotcha.
Mr. Joanna Dark. So yeah, and some of the great games was it the Blue Dragon and Lost Odyssey are games that I believe he worked on as well. So kudos to that, and hopefully there's going to be some more things in the future with him, because there's some people gaming to me is there's something there for everybody. I mean, and some people like my wife, she loves these damn phone games. It drives me crazy because she spends so much freaking money on it. She's like, "That's free to play." Really? Well, you spent $57 this month on your free to play game. Oh, yeah. I guess I did buy some extra. Yeah, you did. You spent more money on games than I do. Stop it. But it's free to play. No, it's not. So anyway, but I guess the point in that is that there's all different levels. People love the games from Japan. People love games from the U.S. Mobile. Whether it's fighting, sports. It's just that's what's great about the game industry, is that there's so many different types of games that can be played and be brought out. So anyway, I just think that it's great. So the Tokyo Game Show wasn't for everybody, that's for sure. But I was pretty excited about it, and I do like and a lot of some people were giving Jazz a little hard, saying, "Well, you said the whole slate's coming, blah blah," and I still believe him that it is. It just may not get all announced right now. There's other events happening this year that'll be big. That would be good to announce some other things, and plus, it's the Final Fantasy games are coming, and even whenever they announce 17, I guarantee it's not going to be locked down to one exclusive platform. I think it's going to be everywhere.
Yeah.
So that's just my opinion, and I'll stick to it. So let's start with you up in the corner, Plume. We'll bring this back full screen. And so what are your thoughts on the Tokyo Game Show? Was there anything that stood out at you, or anything that you were surprised about seeing?
So I thought overall it was a good show. There's lots of stuff there. It's kind of like the same as the PlayStation State of Play, just where there's lots of games that appeal to me. There's lots of games that I'm going to want to play. What always stands out for me from Xbox showcases is that I'm always looking for is like what's coming to Game Pass, third party, first party, what's coming to Game Pass, right? And to me, the Legends of Mana, Trials of Mana, both dropping. I think they're there right now. You can go ahead and play them. Is really, really cool. I haven't played either one of those. I've played other Mana games, but those I haven't played. So happy that those are there. And then there was the Katamari game. I've played that series. It's actually interestingly like addictive as you're rolling through and picking everything up. So again, that appeals to me. I'm probably going to jump in and play that. And then the other one, All You Need Is Help, coming to Game Pass. Don't really have interest in that one, but just having like a nice drop of Game Pass games that are there to play right away, to me, is always a win when it comes to the Xbox showcase. I also liked Final Fantasy, the Pixel remaster, the 1 through 6. I haven't played all of those yet. So, and from what I've seen about the Pixel remaster, it's probably the best way now to go and experience all of those games. So that was pretty cool. And I think just like overall, the whole goal of Xbox at Tokyo Game Show is getting people in Japan and in the Asian regions to want to jump into the ecosystem and play Xbox in some way. And I think they did a lot here. I think it definitely shows the like continued expansion, the continued work to get games that appeal to gamers in that region. Because as we know, like they'll never compete on the console sales there, but they need people to jump into the ecosystem. So they need to have games that are available on, I think mobile will be a huge thing for them going forward, even with the cloud and stuff. So I think overall they did a pretty good job with just lots of cool games to be able to jump in and play.
Very cool. Very cool. So did you I guess because obviously you being the news guy that you are, you also sometimes get a little insider stuff. Was there anything that you maybe had heard about that was coming that didn't show up, or was it just pretty much what you expected?
Well, was like from everything we were hearing about the Final Fantasy 16 and 7, I was expecting 16. I was thinking they would show it off at this show. They didn't. I had no expectations for 7. I feel like we're not going to get 7 on Xbox if it comes until all 3 of them are released and they release like a package or something. I mean, I could be wrong, but that's the way I'm seeing it. But 16, I was expecting it. I think it will still come over. It's just when is it going to come over? And with the whole thing with like Jez saying it was going to be coming over, I was going through the X and stuff, and he never said everything was going to be announced at TGS. It was like they're going to be coming over all at different times, right? And I was expecting the Pixel Remaster in 16. That was my hope, but we only got the Pixel Remaster, so yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I agree. Like I said, and people giving him a hard time. It's like, dude, he's more right than he's wrong. So that's the way I look at it. Jez is an amazing contributor to the space. I think it's pretty awesome. So, Red Wolf, what are your thoughts on the show? Anything that stood out at you, or what? What do you think about it?
Yeah, just to piggyback off of Plume, the the Pixel remasters, I feel like is I was like slightly disappointed at first, and then I was like, you know what, this kind of makes sense. It seems like, to your point, Plume, if they want to bring the Japanese market over to the Xbox ecosystem, the first thing that the Japanese players don't want to hear is that we're taking all the big Final Fantasy games away, and not taking them away, but we're putting them on a platform that you're not familiar with. So I think this is them just lightly dipping their toes and say, we're going to start real slow with these Pixel remasters, and just sort of give you a little tease of what's to come. And I do agree that 16 will definitely come. And I actually, talking again about my good buddy Assassin Entertainment, who's in chat, we had to talk about this, about how I think that, well, we were theorizing that what if Final Fantasy VII, the third and final entry in the part 1, 2, and 3, would actually release everywhere, depending on whenever it would release. So let's say like a year from now, we would actually get Final Fantasy Remake, part 1 release on Xbox. Then we would get another year later, Rebirth come to Xbox, and then eventually, by the time that Final Fantasy, Reload or Revolution or whatever it's going to be called comes out, that maybe it'll release everywhere, and then you sort of have this synergy with the fan base, just allowing it to be played everywhere all at once. But that's just a theory, But that's like a perfect world kind of thing. But alongside that, where would there be room for Final Fantasy 16 to release? I don't know. Is that like a year from now, or we have the what are the other events that we have besides the Game Awards? You guys think that that's a Game Awards thing? Final Fantasy 16? You think Jeff Keighley is comfortable saying that out loud? After they forced him to say Indiana Jones is coming out. Not forced him. They'll force him to say Final Fantasy 16 is coming to Xbox. But he proudly will scream from the mountains. I'm just kidding. But
much like with Genshin, right? With the
yeah, right, yeah. But I'm sorry, I'm having a brain fart. Metal Gear Solid, are we there yet? That was Tokyo Game Show, right? Metal Gear Solid got shown, right?
Yeah.
Dude,
again,
guys,
right? It's like the
again.
20th time.
And the thing is, like, I feel like they're speaking right to like the hardcore fans, because they keep showing more and more iconic, like, cutscenes from Metal Gear Solid 3. So they're like, oh, wait till the fans get to see this character and that character and Ocelot and Volgin and Eva and all these characters. This game looks so good, man. And guys in chat, if you're a fan of Metal Gear Solid, and especially 3, and you watch this, if you're like me, you are just smiling ear to ear, man. It just looks so good. It just looks so good. This is one of those like really faithful remakes, and I said it before that I think maybe them calling the Metal Gear games, Delta and Beta and Omega or whatever, is a way for them to sort of test the waters to see if they can get away with remaking things the way that Capcom has been remaking things. So not to confuse a new player base by calling it Metal Gear Delta, and then the next one, Metal Gear Omega, and it's, Metal Gear 1 remake, or so on and so forth. So yeah, so there wasn't really a whole lot other than Metal Gear and the Final Fantasy 16 games the pixel remasters that were shown that really got me excited. But it's, again, I think this partnership is just, we're just starting to see like what's to come. I didn't expect any sort of blowout. I was a little bit disappointed, but then I was like, you know what, kind of makes sense, with just starting off with something small in terms of a Final Fantasy, I guess, in the new market that Xbox is trying to get their feet wet with. So yeah, that was me. Metal Gear Solid was a big one for me again.
Yeah. Looks beautiful. I think, the way they're doing it, it's kind of like a Capcom type thing with the Resident Evil series. They're really souping it up, and it makes it worth it when they put this much effort into it, I think. So
yeah.
So Hargey, what are your thoughts, man? What are your thoughts on the Tokyo Game Show?
Well, it was, so I'll give it 2 ratings as well. One for me as a consumer of Xbox, and one for its market, right? This is them showcasing in Asia, not specific to the Western world. For me, I'd still put it at like a sort of C, maybe closer to a B, but I'd say like a high C. And then from an Asia market perspective, though, I think they kind of did a really good job. I'd probably give it an A. The focus here was to showcase games that don't usually come over to the platform that are from the Asian market, and they did a pretty good job with that. From a numbers perspective, 31 games shown, 5 remasters, 5 DLC, 20 were previously known. 9 of these were PC and Xbox only. 3 of them were ports, the ones at the end, Trials, Legend of Mana, and then Final Fantasy Pixel remasters. 21 on PlayStation. And then 4 of these were new announcements. 2 of them were DLC. One of the new announcements was pretty cool, though. Threads of Time, at least I'm not sure that was ever announced before. That was kind of a Chrono Trigger kind of spiritual successor, for those who don't remember that trailer, where they were kind of jumping between different times eras. Yeah, there it is, right? So that was kind of an interesting little game. The other new announced that I couldn't see anything before it was Tanuki's Pawn's Summer, the little raccoon game. So, but overall, I'd say like, we got what I would expect from this was recap what you have right in your first party, which they did, and they zipped right through it, which is good. They added the localization, and then I wanted them to hit one thing from ABK to say, hey, we own this, and this is what's coming for the Asian market, and that was StarCraft. They did that. It's not even the fact that it's coming to Game Pass. I'm sure most of the players already own it, play it, doesn't matter. It's noting that this is now owned by Xbox, right? That is an Xbox game, that becomes a marketing point. And again, they zip by all that, which is great. Indie localized, awesome. So I thought that was pretty well done. Giving a roadmap for next year, right? Boom, 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 boom. Here are the games coming next year. Done, right? And so they didn't linger on any of that. Just get through it, and then all the partner stuff, which I thought was pretty well done. The main points of this is more to say, hey, we're not just even getting the trailers. We're getting these people who make these games in Asia. They're talking about their games, right? So these big names are actually there in the showcase to show you that, hey, we're partnering with them. We're not just bringing their trailer over. So I thought that was pretty cool. Overall, there are plenty of games here that are cool looking, but it's not exactly stuff that I would jump to as far as like, oh, that's great. Like Ghost kind of saved, State of Play. I don't know that there was an equivalent here that I would. They ended it with that Square Enix drop. I'm like, well, if you really wanted to have a Square Enix drop, I think having a more recent game like Final Fantasy 16 or FF7 would have been more appropriate. It's not bad. I'm not saying that. It's just it doesn't really, come up the same level. It would have been more interesting to see something new, partnering with somebody that says, hey, this is an Xbox game that we're partnering with a studio to make. But that isn't what they did, right? So, so I think it was okay, right? I would give it kind of a mid. It's about a C for me, but again, from an Asia perspective, I think they knocked it out of the park. They did exactly what they need to do. Say, hey, all these kind of games that usually skip us, no, we're partnering to get them on Xbox, and we're also marketing them. I think that was really cool. So hopefully it resonates over there. We're hearing like rumors that like it actually is kicking up the what's Game Pass, and they're starting to figure that out over there. For the last, when did they raise the price for PlayStation in Japan? Because whenever they did that, Xbox sales started skyrocketing over there. No, that doesn't mean they sold 1 million of them, right? It just means it goes from crap to much better. But it's still been up there. I keep checking Yodobashi, and it's still number 3 on Yodobashi right now is Xbox Series X. And Yodobashi, for those who don't know, is like the Best Buy over there. So there's Amazon is one of the big retailers online, and Yodobashi is the other one. And it would never chart. Xbox would just never chart. It's been up at the top 5 for like the last 5-6 weeks, ever since that price increase for PlayStation, which is crazy, right? So again, I'm not saying that's gonna be millions. It's gonna be like thousands, but it's still notable that in a country where they have no sales, it's suddenly picking up. It's like, okay, well that's something, right? And maybe that'll start doing more. The other thing I noted was when Phil was talking, they went to an outside shot of the arena that they were in where they were doing the game show. And it had Starfield plastered all over it, right? Like, holy crap, they're actually advertising out there. So I hope they're doing that inside as well, and that they're kind of pushing their games. Starfield and Indie are both localized in Japanese now. Great. So these are good moves. So overall, I think from an Asian market perspective, I think they really did a good job. From a Hargeet perspective, what I was looking for, it was okay. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't great. It was okay.
Right.
So,
well, that's really all that matters is the Hargeet perspective. I think we can all agree with that. I'm just
Indeed.
But definitely. Anybody else got anything else that they want to add about the show? Anything? Anything at all? There's I'll pull up this. Let's look at that video plan. But they let's see. The
Do you have like a
StarCraft,
list? I feel like I'm forgetting something. No, it's too
I
much.
can give you the list. So the first one was Metal Gear, then it was Overwatch, My Hero Academia, Age of Mythology, Immortal Pillars, Starfield is localized, Diablo 4 DLC, COD, Flight Sim 2024, Indie localized in Japanese. Then they gave that little roadmap for Avowed, South of Midnight, Doom, Fable, and more coming next year. StarCraft going into Game Pass, Tanuki Pon, Threads of Time, Katamari Reroll coming to Game Pass, Fragpunk, Metaphor Refantasio, Atelier Yumiya, Azure Jung Rumble, Bleach Rebirth of Souls, Sin Duality Echo of Ada, then that like Cats and Dogs DLC for Fallout 76, Suikoden 1 and 2 HD Remaster, All You Need Is Help, Slitterhead, Starbites, and then the Dragon Quest 3 remake. Slitterhead.
Oh, gotcha.
Is that the Silent Hill dude? I think is the guy who's I think it.
Yeah.
Starbites, Dragon Quest 3 remake, and then 1,400 games in development in Asia. That was something that was notable. Sarabon to this 1,400 Asian games in development for Xbox, and then the Trials, Legend, and Final Fantasy Pixel remasters coming into Xbox, and 2 of those into Game Pass.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I think maybe the only Metaphor, Plume, you said you actually tried Metaphor.
Yeah, it's really cool, and it's a huge demo.
Tell me what you. Sorry, Dave, I don't want to take over your show. I'm just really curious to know what your thoughts are on, because I've played it, but I'm only like not even an hour in, and I have thoughts too.
Yeah.
What do you think about it?
Are you gotten through the initial cutscene? An hour in? That's probably just the initial cutscene.
You're right. Besides the cutscene, so I'm definitely over an hour in, and I played for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, like honestly, I'm about maybe a bit further than that, but the story right off the bat is pretty engaging, and I kind of like the theme and like the darkness that they're going for with it. I like its action RPG at this point, and graphically, I always like that style of graphics that Atlas does with their games. So I'm gonna dive more into it probably though before it comes. I think it's like 7 hours you get to put into this game. So my friend told me he finished the demo. It's 7 hours and 30 minutes, and so you get a lot with it.
And are you a Persona fan?
No,
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
I'm not at all.
Wow. Wow. Well, that speaks a lot to Atlas's, how it can grab you with its art style and its storytelling. Because right off the bat, I was like, this is definitely not for kids. No matter how much people want to say anime, because that cutscene that they play right in the beginning, you're like, oh yeah, step away, children. The thing that really got me was the lore. For some reason, I'm really dumb. For anyone who doesn't know, I was really like bought in, and I was like, I get you, I understand. Okay, so the king, okay, so the world, okay, so you're an Elda, so you're a blah blah blah. I was really following along with what was happening with like the world building right off the bat, which I guess just speaks to their delivery was really well done. The only thing that I will say, and I've been told, I didn't talk to, but a Black Viking told me, you need to keep playing, and Assassin Entertainment says you need to keep playing, because I'm not feeling the protagonist just yet, and I don't know if it's just the aesthetic or just the voice actor. I didn't expect there to be voice acting with the main character too, which is cool. I like that, because it's always good to see studios taking a risk. Like we saw that with Bethesda with Fallout 4 with voice acting. We know how that went, but so far people have said no, you need to keep playing, because he'll grow on you, and you'll see this is not your typical Geralt of Rivia or your stoic badass character. This is very intentionally they have a vision, and stick with it. So I can't wait to jump back in. I keep thinking about it, so that says something. So
yeah, that definitely does. If you're eat and wake up in the middle of the night, oh wait, what, kind of thing. So
in a cold sweat, like in that scene in Boondock Saints where the two brothers wake up at the same time. Remember that?
Yep.
If you know, you know. Anyway,
But Atlas does such a good job with their demos. Like 7 hours. They hooked me with Unicorn Overlord. I played the demo of that game, and it became one of my favorite games of the year, just because I played through the demo, didn't know much about it. Then I ended up picking up like the collector's edition, absolutely loved it. So I feel like this metaphor, they may do it again, but I'm gonna jump back into it again as well before it releases.
Very cool. Hargeet, anything there you just like can't live without, or just
I don't know about not live without, but I mean, like all you need help is kind of a funny little family type game again, right? So they've added another one of those. Yeah, I don't know. Like this is basically just them showcasing they are kind of serious about getting those games onto the platform. I'm wondering, now that they're getting some of the newer installments, are they going to get some of the older installments from some of the other, franchises? So we'll see if that materializes. We'll also see if they basically are saying, hey, if I put like Atelier on here, are you going to actually buy it? Right. And that's kind of an interesting thing to figure out. Right. So we'll see what happens with those. Hopefully people do. Like buy these games. I think we also need to expand the reach of Xbox in Asia, right, where it's kind of non-existent, because a lot of that customer base is going to be there, right? So, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we will see. That is for sure. So I guess Tokyo Game Show. I thought it was good overall. I'd probably give it I'd say probably a 7 out of 10. Because you always want more, but it's not necessarily geared toward, it's not like, hey Dave, let's make it all about you. That's not the way it works. So, but it's, that's like I said before, games are for everybody, and there's a little bit there for everybody, I think, that they showed. So that was cool. A lot of good stuff coming, a lot of good stuff for sure. So as far as like topics, what we want to jump to next, we kind of teased about it or talked about it kind of in the before we started the show, but like Starfield is coming. The Shattered Space is releasing, I guess, tomorrow. So that's it's big. It's going to be big. So what do you guys? Obviously, I think we all have played Starfield. In fact, I'll start with Red Wolf this time. So Red Wolf, what are your thoughts on this Starfield coming out? Have you gotten to? I mean, have you messed around with the car and stuff? I like that, the new one, the vehicle.
Yeah.
I guess it was.
Yeah, so I mean, it's funny. I actually built my channel, channel around Starfield because I'm a huge fan of Bethesda, and Starfield was like my dream game. Everything that they showed, everything that they ever showed about Starfield in trailers, that whatever they talked about is in the game. So when the game came out and I got my hands on it, I was just so happy because there was no like thinking outside of the box. You know how people did like with Cyberpunk. It's going to be the greatest thing ever, and I'm going to be able to do this and that. It's like it's never in the game. They never said, whether they said it or not. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Starfield was always that. I love Starfield so much. It still is my dream game. I was a huge fan of No Man's Sky and whatnot. So yeah, I'm always playing Starfield. I play it at least once a week, and at the most, I'm playing it every single day. So it just depends. So here recently, like I said, I got caught up on the games, Dragon Age and Life is Strange, because they had their sequels. So I've been playing a lot of Starfield lately. Played it right before I got on the show, and got into the new vehicle, which is awesome. And it's so funny, as I'm playing with the vehicle, I never had like an issue with running around the planets and exploring. But it wasn't until I got the vehicle that I thought, I actually didn't realize how much I wanted this until I had it. And it actually makes you feel like these planets, these areas, whenever you land there, they're huge. And so the vehicle was such a nice touch. So, love that, and love how you can customize it, the colors and whatnot. So what they're showing was I put out a video talking about this with Shattered Space. I think that this was in development way before anyone bitched and complained about the exploration and whatnot. And and hey, and if you had an issue with exploration, totally fine. But they are addressing it very heavily in this. And so I don't know if it's going to like cure all of everyone's issues that they have with Starfield, because it is still on one planet with over 50 locations that you can explore. It's all handcrafted like they're known for. So I'm really excited to jump in. It's hard to avoid. I had to make a video on it, so I know, just looking at this video here, I mean, it looks incredible. I mean, this is like the alien stuff that people wanted for so long, and I could nerd out about the lore and whatnot, but needless to say, I'm just really excited to see how they build off of this and how they update the game after this, once they get the feedback, once people get their hands on it, because one of the biggest issues is that people are not a fan of procedural generation. After you get your 100 to 200 hours into a game, you're going to obviously start to see the repeated locations on different planets, and it does definitely dumb it down. Like I remember jumping onto a planet. It was an ice planet, and I saw this factory that was like, and I know if you guys have played Starfield, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's this facility that like malfunctioned, and the ice overgrows everything on the inside of the facility. I remember thinking, oh my God, this is amazing. This is incredible. 20 hours later, I land on a desert planet. Oh, facility. I jump in there. It's the same facility. I'm like, well, shit. I'm starting to see that, but it's only, you put so much time into a game, So anyway, I don't want to ramble.
Right. Very
excited for Shattered Space, and really, really excited to see how Starfield evolves after all this, because they seem to be addressing a lot of things that people had issues with.
Yeah, there you go. So Plume, what are your thoughts on it, man? You excited for this?
Yeah, I mean, like I think Red Wolf covered a lot of what I am excited about for this. I enjoyed Starfield. I played through the campaign. I've done some exploration. I've jumped back in every so often. But it's not like a game that is on my daily or weekly rotation anymore. But one of the things that for Starfield that like Revolt mentioned, the procedural generation just kind of it bogged it down a little bit for me as you would explore more and everything. For me, like the space travel and the way that like the cutscenes, or there's always like a cutscene before you land, but that stuff just kind of eventually just got annoying for me. So I put it down for a bit, but I enjoyed what I played of it a ton. So I'm excited for this because of a single planet, handcrafted, everything is going to be brand new, a new story that's looking like it's like a dark horror thriller style of story, I guess. That's what my vibe is getting from it. So I'm excited to see just kind of their writing in action here with a brand new story to go through. So that's my biggest thing here. There's going to be new enemies, 50 locations or whatever that Red Wolf had said. So super cool that is what we get to focus on. We don't have to think about that whole exploration aspect of it. We can just focus on one big story, go through it, and everyone gets to talk about it. I'm sure there's going to be many different things that occur, many different options that occur as you're going through it. So that's what I'm excited for.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be jumping in tomorrow as soon as it launches.
There you go. There you go. I'm pretty excited for it as well. And I mean, and now that they've added mods, and also the game has the 60 frames per second upgrade now that's available. So that I think that's, you know, some of the people that were like, you know, bashing it or trying to downplay it, the excuses aren't there anymore. Hargeet, what are your thoughts on this?
Look, I played this on PC on my 4090, so I'm good with the frames. Didn't have any problem there. It also, by the way, they added DLSS support, which wasn't there at launch either. So now I have that addition to look forward to. Yeah, I definitely am. I've been waiting to get Shadow Space so I can go back in. I've basically finished almost everything I was going to. I did not do any of the New Game Plus stuff. I know what it's all about, but I just kind of wanted to get Shadow Space and get that done, and then I'll see if I want to continue with New Game Plus or not. But yeah, so definitely looking forward to playing this. I like that it's kind of different in that it really is focused on one area, and it has its own little thing going on there. And so we'll see what they do with it. It looks pretty good. But there's been a lot of other updates in between, because I played this at launch and finished it at launch. So there's a lot of stuff that I'm going to get to see for, you know, the first time now. You know, including the Rev 8 rover that they have, right? The vehicle. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to get in. I also have to remember the like buttons and you know, what everything is and all the systems and all that stuff, right? But whatever, I'll figure that out. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it.
That's one of the things that I found if I step away from a game I've really gotten into for a while, and then, like, you know, pick back up Elden Ring, and I'm just like, oh fuck, what am I gonna, you know, you jump into a battle and I'm like, oh hey, back off, better go to a cheap ass enemy because I cannot remember the controls at all compared to what, you know, here I was all dominating and having a great time, and now I'm like, oh dude, I'm so screwed. Yeah, so I don't know if
I
you
always
guys
find
have that
myself
problem too, but-
restarting. No,
Yeah.
for
Right.
sure. It's definitely a thing. I mean, whenever I step away from a game, especially a game like Starfield or Elder Scrolls or, you know, whatever, the big games, I do just find myself saying, how long has it been? Should I just go ahead and start over to get, like, you know,
I don't know if I want to do that.
reintroduced to it? Yeah, like I had a buddy asking me, he's like, I have like a level 75. Should I get back in? It's been a while since I've played. And I'm like, do you even know what you were doing? And he's like, I have no idea. I'm like, well, maybe I don't know. But that's just me. But it's totally a classic return to game.
I think that'd be
issue
an awesome thing that they put into games, especially ones that have, like, you know, continuous content coming, is like a little section where, you know, it's like a refamiliarize yourself with the game, right?
Yeah.
Just like a totally separate mode, right? You just here are the controls.
right, like while it's loading or
yourself.
something. Yeah.
Right.
Like, you know how in Assassin's
like
Creed
a totally
games-
separate thing, right? It's not the campaign, it's not the game. It's like you just go in and it's like, now this is how you shoot. This is how you, like, whatever, right? Just so you can get used to all that stuff again.
I
right?
was
Just so you
thinking
get the
of
controls back.
something like you know how in Assassin's Creed games where you're in the loading
Where it's
screen,
kinda
but you're running
like-
around a little. Yeah. They should just do that with games. It's like, we noticed you haven't played in 75 years. Would you like to just load into this? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, Plume, what do you think, man? It would be nice to have a little arena or type of, you know, when you start the game, you have a choice where you can just jump in and, like, a, you know, refresher mode or training mode. Would you do that?
Yeah, I think they, especially like big RPGs, they need like something that's added into games that just kind of takes snapshots of everything you've done, and then if you haven't played in a certain amount of time, it gives you a recap of all the choices and characters you've made. Because that's where I get lost. It's like, okay, I haven't played this game. I've already put like 30 hours into it.
point.
It's been like a couple months. I have no idea what's going on, and I already have a hard time like remembering names and stories a lot because I play so many games. It's just like it's hard to keep track of everything. If they could give me just a recap of the stuff that I've done, because I bounce between games, and it's like 30 hours or whatever. I get back into it. I'm like, well, I'm not restarting. There's no way I'm restarting after putting 30 hours into it. I'm just gonna just continue. I'm just gonna go ahead and I'll figure it out as I go.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a lot of new games that have come out recently. I know there's a new free to play MMO, the Thorns of Liberty. Has anybody else downloaded and tried that? They had a where you could try the beta type thing, and I just downloaded it. Just got started through the character creation screen, and dude, that game it looks really nice. A lot of people giving it a hard time at first because it's a Korean game, I think, or and so it's like a money grab type thing. But it's it's like I said, free to play, obviously, and you can spend money to do extra things in it. But I just kind of like the controls on it and the way the way you can just jump right in and instead of having to like buy mounts and stuff, your character can just turn into a bird or turn into a wolf and just take off running. It's like, whoa, that's there's lots of different elements and stuff to it that they have. I'll probably bring up a video. Has anybody else heard of that game at all?
No, I'm trying to look for it, see what it looks like.
I haven't.
Dun dun dun! I love it. Let's see here. Let me let me find something. Let me see here. Let's find some gameplay because people are starting to play it now.
Is it just announced, or is it something that's been out for a while?
It's been in, I guess, beta, pre, whatever type thing, and it just actually came to Xbox now. Thorns of Liberty. There we go.
I kept seeing Thorns of Love, the Nigerian movie, and I was interested in that. But whatever.
That's not it.
We can talk about video games, I guess.
So yeah, this is
that looks pretty cool. It's guessing free to play MMO?
Yes, it's free to play MMO. Yep.
Dang. Okay. Whoa.
And like I said, your character, you can you want to go to a certain area, whatever, you can just turn into a bird and fly. And it's all like part of the game mechanics. It's not like, I mean, I think there's different animals you can turn into depending on how you unlock certain things.
So cool.
But it looks really good. And for free to play, I mean, why not?
Is this
I think
on
it's
console?
Yes. I got it downloaded and play it there now. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah. So
I'm always like trying to jump in. I've always said like I don't know if I'm an MMO guy, but it's like I feel like it's because of the UI and the characters running around. Like I'm trying to, because I'm such a like an immersion freak with video games. So I'm like, oh, look at this beautiful world and everything's so pretty. And then a guy like runs around me doing a backflip on a unicorn. I'm like, what are you doing? I'm trying to look at the, but like, I mean, that's just MMOs to be, that's just the nature of them. But I'm always interested to check out something new to be like, is this one going to be the one? Is this one going to be the one? So I'll have to check this out. This looks good.
Yeah, it's Thrones of Liberty, and Big Mad Mo says it's a really good MMO. So there you go, and it's free to play. It's also on PC as well. Yep. So it's not in Game Pass, but like I said, it's free to play.
Yep.
But yeah, you can. I mean, you can have like hundreds of people playing time, or you can get a
wow
small group together. So yeah. But yeah, it's early access. I believe was been going on, but it just the actual quote unquote released where you can just go on and download it and play it is available now. That's what I did, and like I said, just started to get through the character creation screen for myself, and then after you do the pick out your character type thing, then it gives you through a quick like and it's really quick. It literally is like a tutorial of like, you know, this is how you do this. This is how you do this. And it was like maybe a 5-minute tutorial. And then you were like, boom. Okay, cool. Now what? You know, and the super, you know, massive amounts of, you know, trees stuff. It's not like, like, oh, I want to be a wizard. You know, well, it's basically weapon based. In other words, so you can have like, and you can dual wield. So in other words, you can, if you want like AOE type spells, you can have a staff, and then you can, you know, you'll do AOE spells and all kinds of really cool magic. And then your offhand, you can have a crossbow, so you can get, you know, single shots but from a distance kind of thing. So like I said, it's one of those games where it's like, download it, play it, try it. If you don't like it, delete it, you know, because it's quote unquote free to play. But yeah, it looks really good. I'm enjoying it. I haven't seen really any, you know, so far I haven't seen any glitches, but then again, I'm just now getting started. So yeah, I recommend it to at least give it a try. If you haven't heard of it before. I did kind of get a bad rep at first because it was, you know, it's kind of like they were saying, you know, well, it's, you know, the Korean, you know, people that don't understand how, you know, well, every game's, it can't cookie cutter everything. You know, it's always good to have a difference, but it's huge areas, all different, you know, skill trees, as you can see, that you can, you know, upgrade and stuff. And then, you know, you can just, you'll see it and you'll have elements of games that you're like, oh, you know, I recognize that type of mechanic, you know, kind of thing. It's just got quests you go on and things you can do. Plus, like I said, you can like turn into, you just did it, turned into a bird, you know, or a sea animal.
You're on a ship. Oh,
There's
now
all kinds
you
of stuff
got
you
me.
can do, man.
You got me with the boat thing. I love that. I love that so much. I'm such a sucker, right? And again, it's something to see. A Thieves, Starfield, you know, you have your own ship in one way or the other. Yeah, I love that. Love that.
And
speaking
look
of
at
which,
those are all
I'm
active
sorry,
players
go ahead.
right there, by the way. No, I was just gonna say
That's
those are all
crazy.
active players.
That's just this. I don't know about you, WebDave, but does this remind you? I don't know. Well, Crimson Desert is a game that is doing a lot
another
of
one I wanna
different
try.
things, and it does like a lot of this like crazy combat, transforming and open world and all this craziness. It's kind of like what I get a vibe of that. Recently there's a game in early access. Shout out to that Holly, that blue number. There's a game, I don't know if you guys have heard of this, called The Forever Winter. It's on PC, early access, and the devs have been very proudly announcing they do these really cool videos where they have a character from the game speaking to the camera, talking about their season pass content and their monetization plans and their, you know, so on and so forth. And they talk about, they're very upfront about, like, you know, no BS. You know, this is a, you know, a game where you play the game and you unlock stuff, or it's not a pay to win type deal. And yeah, there she goes. And it has a lot of different elements. So they're calling it, and Holly, help me out, it's a PvE co-op looter shooter survival horror. I could go on and on. They use a lot of these, you know, these terms, but then you look at the game and you're like, it kind of looks like they are nailing that somehow. It looks really unique. And a lot of people are saying it's very difficult, you know, so it's one of those, you know, definitely got to get your best buds together and hope to not ruin any friendships. Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah, look at this. It's third person. And apparently the lore around it is something to do with, you know, this hellish creatures come down, and it's just a never ending war. So it's not like a run and gun Gears of War type game. It is very much survival. I haven't even seen, whatever I'm looking at right now, I've never seen this hacking bit, but yeah. So I'm really excited to check this out. But I'm sorry, Dave. You were talking about a game with many elements to it, and this reminded me. We're gonna jump into that tonight and finally check it out. I haven't seen any of this footage of people dying. This is great. Anyway, yeah, really excited.
For some reason, this looks like Helldivers.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah. I can see that. Yeah,
Yeah.
like Helldivers, but like everyone's crouched 100% of the
Yeah.
time trying to avoid death. Yeah, it looks really cool, man. It's got a really unique.
It looks like
style.
Helldivers mixed with Death Stranding because he has that big thing on his back.
The big ass, the big ass backpack. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, just wanted to shout that out. Yeah.
No, it's awesome. It's awesome. Well, we're all about games, man. It's awesome. I love stuff like this. That looks really cool. What was the video you talked about it earlier? Just a minute ago. A game that
Crimson Desert.
I think Cult even. Yeah, Crimson Desert.
Yeah.
Cult.
Cult made a video.
Put something. Yeah, and that looked really awesome as well. So, I mean, anybody interested in trying that out, especially some of that? Anybody else heard of that besides me?
That game looks very cool. It's from the creators of Black Desert, right, which was an MMO, which I never played. So I'm going to this one completely blind, but everything they've shown off, it kind of looks like when you were showing off that Throne of Liberty game, like all the different things that's going on where you're turning into animals. It kind of looks like it's sort of like that. Like there's going to be so much different mechanics in it and physics of the characters. I remember like the videos where they're like falling off. I think it was like mountains and stuff. I don't know. It looks really, really cool. So I'm excited for that one. When is that one even coming out? I forget when they said they were releasing that one. So look that up.
The Crimson Desert.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Second quarter of 2025.
There's Ed's Crimson Desert right there.
Look at this combat, man. Oh man, everything. It's like got everything. It was one of those games that I when I was talking to some people like Colt and Holly and Assassin, and I was saying like this game looks suspiciously too good. You know how like you see games just pop up and you're like, I don't know if this is real. But
I thought it was a scam at first, but then I looked into it and it's from that company that makes Black Desert, which is a huge MMO. So they must have the cash to be able to make something big like this.
Totally. Yeah. Look at this boss. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Hey, Hargeet, read that chat if you don't mind.
Yeah. Blue Mustang 357. I played Crimson Desert at Gamescom. It's pretty fun and challenging.
Okay. Well,
cool.
I'm curious. Hey, Blue Mustang. I would like to know what are the basic combat controls? Dodge, attack. Basically, I'm really curious. Is it right bumper, or is it X and Y type deal, or square and triangle, or whatever? Really, I've always wanted to know. I'm always curious. I think that the trend nowadays is your two triggers for attacking. I'm always curious about that.
Yeah. So, Hargeet, would you play something like this?
Maybe. It just depends on how much of a campaign it has. We'll have to see, right?
Right. Plume, what about you, man? Is this something you might want to try out when it comes out?
Yeah, it looks awesome. I mean, it looks like I said, like a mix of everything. It kind of even reminds me like of Assassin's Creed a bit here with like the combat.
Yeah.
So, and I love the AC games. So that was like my first draw to this when I did see it. But like I said, when they first showed it off, I'm like, this seems too good to be true. Looks like one of those games that they're building the hype, and then when it releases, it's not going to be like that. But I'm pretty sure I'm wrong on that from the company that makes it. And then as we see, someone already played it at Gamescom and said it was fun. So
there you go. God, it does look really good, and the effects and the.
I think one of the things that made it seem not so real, Plume, was the camera work. Like the camera work is really interesting. It does this thing where depending on what you're doing or how you're interacting in combat, the camera will sort of fly in and fly out. And so it makes it look like really cinematic, like all the time. And that's something that I was like, there's no way that that's like actual gameplay. Like what we're seeing right now with him climbing on his back, like that's not the kind of stuff I'm talking about. It's sort of just like in the middle of combat where it just zooms in and out. It just sort of didn't look real at first. So whatever they're doing with the camera work really is lending it a lot of flair for sure.
That combat looks phenomenal.
Yeah,
it does, doesn't it? Yeah, I was pretty excited. Black Myth Wukong is another one that I can hardly wait for it to come to the Xbox. We know it's coming eventually. You know, it's not a complete lockdown exclusive. But I don't know. So, anybody excited for that one too? Black Myth,
I already
as it
have
were,
it on
or have
PC.
you already played it? Do you? And
I
what do you
haven't
think about it?
started it yet, but
Oh, well, there you go.
but I bought it on PC, so that just seems like a game that's just going to require too much to work really well on a console anyway.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Did they ever update it on PS5? Or is it still?
I don't know if they have, and I don't know if it's going to get a Pro update. Probably, right?
Yeah, you think so. You think so. Well, I bet also like how many people with the Pro are playing Black Myth Wukong as well, right? Because that was huge. It's huge and it's sold really insanely in China as well. So how many people in China are getting a PS5 Pro to play it? So
And most of the players in
Yeah,
China
that's-
bought it on PC, right? So
Yeah. And that's the thing too. It's like hopefully they'll fix, or I guess tweak it to where it works good on the current PlayStation 5 and not just have to have a Pro to play it good, because there's not going to be that many people on the Pro. Just saying. Even if it sells like hotcakes, the percentage of people that upgraded from the PlayStation 4 Pro was next to nothing compared to, you know, the actual games, the systems that were out there for the original PlayStation 4.
PS4,
So
yeah.
it's just the way it is, you know. I mean,
Be
there's
interesting to see
hardcore
the numbers,
gamers.
next year when we get
that
the
definitely
sales
would, you know,
numbers.
and the people that, you know, that have a mic
See
that
what
are
we
on
get.
shows and stuff that are like, you know, oh, you got to have this, you got to have this, blah, 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 let me do it for this. But it's not everybody that can afford it, or to them, it's like, it's not worth it, you know. So I'm not getting a PlayStation 5 Pro. It's not worth it. Not worth it at all. Especially with the rumors and stuff that there's a new Xbox next gen coming 2026 and maybe a handheld next year. Hell yes. So, you know, I'm going to save my money for that. I've got a PlayStation 5. If something comes out that I want to play, I'll get it. And Ghost of Tsushima is, to me, my favorite game, the best game, I think, on that platform. But that's just me. But it's also available
See
on
what Ghost 2
PlayStation 4
does.
as well.
Yeah, we'll see.
What did people think of that announce?
I wasn't surprised at all by the protagonist, like a lot of people were. As soon as I saw it, I was like, okay, I get it. I get it. And I think even on the live stream, I streamed it on my channel, and I said, this is like way in the future, isn't it? And of course, it turns out 300 years in the future. It was, I don't know, it was something like once I saw it, it just all kind of like made sense to me. So because we didn't see a whole lot of gameplay, I think that's really where I'm interested, is what this character, it has nothing to do with Jin, the main character from Tsushima. So there is no, you know, lineage to be focused on or anything. It's just a brand new story, brand new setting, brand new character. And I'm sure this character will have, you know, the combat and all that kind of stuff will be completely different. So I'm really interested to see how it differentiates from the first game. Is it just going to be more hack and slash, you know, combat? But you're a chick and she's a Ronin. She's not a samurai, and so she's got a wolf. You guys know I love wolves. So yeah, so I'm just interested to see how different it is, you know. So it looked good. It looked like Ghost of Tsushima.
She's a chick. I like that.
She's a chick. She is a chick. If anyone didn't know. Yeah. As soon as I saw her, she goes to grab her sword, and it like zooms in on her hand, and I was like, oh, it's a girl. Right off the bat, I was like, you can see it. Look at her nails. She got her nails all done up and everything for the shot. So yeah, I'm really excited.
Anyway, sorry.
Is this game coming to PC, you think?
Oh, it eventually will. It's just a question of will it be day and date. I doubt that, but it will definitely come to PC though.
Yeah, Herman was very adamant about. Is it Herman Hulse? Always get, because so many people talked about their first party games not coming day and date because they want to make their. I don't know how you could.
Well, first party marquee titles won't come because everything else is day and date. PC.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
What do you think, Plume? Were you impressed?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like more Ghost. Yeah, I was impressed with what they shot because the game itself is a good game. So if it's more of that, I think it's going to be very similar to the first one. Just obviously a new story. Their whole thing is like different time periods, different character, new story, and they said they were also going to do like more spin-offs for the series itself. So it looks like, honestly, watching the trailer, to me, I don't know if, but to me, it looks pretty much the exact same with a new character.
Yep, I
Yeah.
agree.
So yeah, it's like a lot of the
Yeah.
elements that you enjoyed or liked with the original.
Yeah, which I don't think is a bad
Go
thing
ahead, Hargee.
by any means either.
Yeah, I was gonna say that like the sameness is kind of interesting, given that it's supposed to be a next gen game. Didn't really show that.
Graphically, yeah.
Also, they captured it on 5 instead of PS5 Pro. It's like, dude, like, what? Okay, fine. And then, as far as some of the graphics, I'm like, okay, it's a little bland, which is weird. But okay, I don't necessarily care about graphics. I just care about the gameplay and the game itself, right? So I'll be happy with whatever. But Sony sets a pretty high bar for themselves. Like you saw the horses running in the field. Do you see how like low the animation frames are? Like it's just not them. Like they're very meticulous, and that just didn't seem meticulous. Maybe that's just the way Ghost was as well, like Ghost of Tsushima 1. But it looks pretty like underwhelming in some areas, and it's normal in others. Very much like the first one. But yeah, it's a little weird that it's like that. They usually sweat those details, right? They usually, when they're presenting this stuff, they usually sweat those details. That didn't really happen here. It does feel like, I think, were you saying this one day that maybe they tacked it on at the end? That they're like, Concord was such a fail, and the PS5 Pro price thing was such a fail, and maybe like, hey, we need to have something that's, we can't have this, not have something really, great to end with, and we need to have that like one more thing moment, and let's just throw this together and try to get it out there. I mean, some of it looks good, but like if you take even a look at this and you look at like the fur near the back and how it's just not well animated at all, and you're like, okay, is this really a Sony standard thing? Right? You might not notice these things because most people might not, right? But it's like they sweat those details, and you're like, well, why didn't they sweat the details here? So what's going on? But yeah, whatever. Ultimately, I'm just gonna be happy if it's a good game. I'm good with that. I did not learn much about the environment here. It was very clear what was happening with the first one. You kind of got to see the protagonist and the antagonist. You got to see all that stuff, like what's going on. Here, it's kind of more nebulous. So, you're being hunted by Ronin for what reason, we don't know, right? So that's kind of what you got here, right? And so we'll get to see more, hopefully, of the story later. But that's it, really. It's just, I'm still excited. I think it'll be fun. But I'm kind of interested to see why it's different from their norm. And did they just kind of slap this together? Hey, we got to put something out there. Which they do need to do. They did.
They may have thought like we need to get a first party game here, even though it says capture on PS5. We need to get a first party game here. PS5 Pro is coming out. We need to build hype for next year, right? That is if this was tacked on at the end, that just makes my question even more like, what's coming in 2025 from PlayStation? Because I assumed for this entire year that like 2025 was going to be the year that these 2 years makes up for these past 2 years, where they're just going to have like a huge showcase and a huge like slate of games coming out. But
they might have a showcase.
Yeah. But like, is Ghost the only game coming out in 2025? Because that would be 3 years in a row where they really only release one big hit.
Well,
right?
so we know about potentially Marathon, but we're hearing there could be issues with that development cycle.
Yeah, a lot of that.
So if that comes up, maybe that comes out. Fair Games is kind of supposed to be slated for 2025, but if that doesn't work out, because we haven't seen anything for that, right? So
Death Stranding,
and they've got to be with Death Stranding 2, I think might show up at the Game Awards. I'm gonna guess.
But I'm talking like specifically from their first parties.
But yeah, that's not first party, right? So
true, very true.
But yeah, as far as their first party, like with Concord failing so badly, are they going to be more, I guess, thorough? They're going to try to figure out what they need to do with Fair Games. Is that going to do well? I don't know. They haven't shown, Wolverine is definitely not coming out next year because they still have Venom to do in between, and we haven't seen anything about that. So there's still that to come out. I don't know that comes out next year. Maybe it does. Maybe they do like a mid-year thing and say it's coming out at the end of the year. But that's really it then. You got obviously MLB The Show. That's going to come out, obviously.
Yeah.
But that is kind of it. Like I don't know. It is kind of a light thing. A lot of it is because they're going to gas games and people aren't really expecting that from them. They're really expecting more of like the Ghost of Tsushima's, The Last of Us's, Uncharted's, things like that. They're just not really kind of there. And I don't know about the release of this game next year. We'll see if they can pull it off before the GTA window, assuming GTA comes out next year. Okay, but I don't think you really want to release this after, because that'll be the same thing they've done to their other games, right? You don't want to have the Horizon effect. Oh, we put it out around Elden Ring or Breath of the Wild, and how'd that work out?
Yeah, and we heard today that, or yesterday or something, that the next game in the Horizon series is online. Like that's coming out first before Horizon 3. So that's another gas game.
Well, I mean, the next game is that Lego Horizon, right?
Yeah, and then they're also, I guess, working on a online MMO multiplayer game.
Yeah.
Yeah, James.
So
Grand Theft Auto 6 will save everyone in 2025. Maybe, unless it gets delayed. Rumor has it.
Rumors
We don't know for sure. So yeah. So guys, I guess it's anything else you want to talk on tonight, or we'll just kind of wrap this up.
What the hell am I looking at in this Death Stranding?
Death Stranding. Yeah.
This is gameplay for Death Stranding. Death Stranding 2.
I haven't seen this, man. I haven't finished the first one, so I'm even more lost than I ever. Well, I guess even if you played it, you still don't know what the hell's going on. But now here comes the baby. Yep. All right. Yep, that's normal. That makes perfect sense. This is completely just Kojima just let loose. Whatever. Sorry. I just. Why is he blue? What's happening?
Because why not?
It's called lighting effects.
If you like watching guys take showers, this is the game for you, because there's a whole.
That is true. Yeah. That is my favorite thing. Yep. All right. Yep.
Oh Lord. Let's see if there's anything else. So wait, let's see there. There you go.
Look how beautiful that looks. Cool, man. I mean, God, it
does.
I look at stuff like this and I'm like, how the hell do people even make video games? Like, it's just crazy to me. Like, to think about this in its conceptual phase versus what they eventually got to. It's crazy. I have no idea what's happening, but or whatever. Is that a cat with a what the what is happening, man?
Bat cat. Exactly.
Bat cat. Oh my God. Yeah,
look at that vehicles too.
Oh, like Starfield. Oh, sorry.
Oh Lord. I mean, I'll definitely check this out because, like I said, the last one was weird as hell, but
I couldn't finish the first one. I just wasn't.
Yeah, I didn't finish it either.
I couldn't get past the beginning of the first one.
No, I put like 10 hours in the first one and I topped out.
But this looks beautiful. I mean, the graphics, it looks amazing. So
yeah.
But there we go. We'll wrap this up.
Maybe the second one will also come to Game Pass. That'd be hilarious.
There you go. Yeah.
Well, the first one came to Game Pass because the actual PC version was actually put out by a different company because they didn't have all this stuff in place. Right. So, but now Sony has their PC crap more in order. So I have a feeling that the Death Stranding 2, when it comes out, will not be.
It may not be fully on them either, right? But we'll see, right? Because it's not all them. It's also Kojima.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see.
I can't imagine how crazy OD is going to be on Xbox.
Oh yeah. God. Yeah.
What weird stuff is he going to come up with for that one?
He's got some pretty high level talent, right?
Yeah.
Associated with
it. And supposedly that the OD is not the only game that he's going to be depending on, I guess, on the sales and how happy Kojima is with OD, that there's a possibility that he's actually already tentatively ready to go for another game for the Xbox.
Nice.
You know, so it's not like it'll be a one and done. So that's the quote unquote rumor, is that there's going to be another one, something not necessarily in the same franchise, but just still continue, you know, to get his work more places, because he's one of those guys that, you know, regardless, you love him or hate him, you know, he's made some amazing games in the past, and of course he's in his old enough now where he can do his quirky shit. And that's what we're getting a lot of.
He's
loose.
But he's like, I'm gonna do whatever the hell I want to do before I see this, before I go to Death Stranding land. Umbra is asking, what are your thoughts on Metaphor ReFantasia? We talked about it earlier, but
yeah, we had a whole segment on that one.
Yeah, and we kind of
so
talked
far
about it
so
earlier.
good in the little bit that we played.
Yeah,
there you go.
It sums it up.
So yeah, I'm excited for everything that's coming out, and it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
Yeah, it's just the time issue, you know. We just need to invent like a way to like loop time so you can play all these games all at the same time.
If you think it's bad, no, the February next year is going to be insane too. Like everything's just moving.
It just keeps getting worse.
Yeah,
Avowed,
bro, it was
Avowed picked the wrong date. They should have released in January.
Yeah,
well, they tried to get out of the way of AC Shadows, and then AC Shadows delays themselves. We didn't talk about that fun little topic, did we?
Yeah.
Well, but I mean, you look at it this way, that they're totally different games. So
yeah,
I suppose.
I don't know.
What do you guys think about that whole headache? Did you guys hear about the whole like the Torygate thing? Did you guys see
I've seen all about it. Yeah, it's so tone deaf, man. That's just like my whole thing. And it's funny because they said how they are trying to be inclusive. You know, I'm whatever words that they use talking about being respectful of the culture or whatever.
Inclusive
in the
is
same
always
breath,
from a Western perspective and not from a reality perspective.
And in the
same
you're in another
breath, country, you might want to talk about them.
Yeah, exactly. And in the same breath, they they showed the Torygate thing, and I'm like, guys, are you fucking man?
There's more, by the way. There's not just that, right? There was this is it Dash Blue, I think is the name of the content creator. They're Japanese people that they analyze just the trailer, and they're like, that's wrong, and 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 that's wrong. It was just crazy how many things, just picking it apart. Like, yo, no, that's not how that works. That's not how that. No, that's wrong, and you can't do that. And it's just crazy. Like they didn't bother to go out there at all to like maybe get somebody that's from Japan to help them make this. Like I don't get it. Like the main guy is. Yeah, go ahead.
Did they delay it because of that, or do you think they delayed because of technical
I
issues?
think the end nail on that was the Torygate thing. Once you got that Torygate, like, dude, you can't like, and everybody knows what that is. Maybe we should just showcase what that is, right? So essentially,
go for it.
I don't know if you have a thing on that WebDave. If not, I'll send you an article on it. But
okay.
But essentially, a Torygate is, I'm sure you've seen Japan gates. They're basically like two columns and an arched arch right on top of it.
Okay.
They had a collectible with Naoe and Yasuke on a broken Torygate, and the only broken Torygate that is a national monument, as it were, is the remaining Torygate from the Nagasaki bombing, the atomic bomb. Okay, and they're like, you're doing what now? So just extremely like insensitive. You just don't do that kind of thing, right? And I don't know that they did that on purpose. I think they just are dumb and they didn't realize. Right? It's like, but dude, like if you're gonna do something, maybe you should have an actual person from that country tell you, is that okay? I don't know, just like, but they got called out for it, and there's plenty of other stupid little things they keep doing. Everybody keeps thinking it's just the controversy of the black protagonist and the female. Like, okay, that might be annoying, but no. There's a lot of other stupid things they've done that are just not normal Japanese, and you're like, okay. So I think this one just really was like the last straw. They're like, okay, we gotta like redo this thing. Like, what the heck are we doing? That's why I think they just said, we're refunding everybody. We're just going to replan this whole thing and make sure we don't screw things up like this.
And that's smart.
They're giving out
like, what are you doing?
Free too. So at least some good decisions for the consumers coming out of it at the end of the day. But yeah, I don't know. I'm a big Assassin's Creed fan. Like I've liked all the open world ones and everything. So excited to play this one still, but yeah, they've been.
Me too.
If this game flops, I wonder what effect this has on Ubisoft. I don't think it will flop. I still think it'll sell.
Yeah, it'd be a problem for them, right? Because this is one of the ones they bank on. So let's hope they do well with it.
Yeah, the pre-orders were really, really strong from what we heard. So but again, these might be people who are just not in our space. But Plume, I had the exact same question. That's exactly what I was going to ask. Is why was the delay? Like, they're not going to delay the game and completely be like, okay, let's turn the black guy into a Japanese guy. Let's make the chick, what are they? Yeah, it's way too late because that's what it all revolves around.
Yeah, I think the characters are the characters. I just think these little idiosyncrasies where they have things screwed up, they could fix that at least, right? It might be like house symbols that like, did you ask permission to even use that? There's weird things like we just assume that anything is open, right? You can just go ahead and take whatever you want. And it's like, well, that may not be the case in Japan. That's not really true. You might have to ask permission, like. You may not get it. So
it's just crazy to me.
That still seems like a lot of work, though, too, even between now and February. Just scrub the whole game. Or not scrub, like go through the entire game and nitpick every little thing. Because how are they going to get everything? It's probably going to come out. There's still going to be some controversies when it does release.
Yeah,
possibly, yeah. But like little things like that. Hopefully they just fix it. Or whatever. Wherever there's oddities, hopefully they can fix it. Obviously, that collectible's got to go, right? But
yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's to me, it's like how does a company as big as Ubisoft, how does anything fall through the cracks? Or is it like we've been seeing hearing a lot about toxic positivity, where no one wants to talk about the things that they have issues with, and then they wait till the very last minute, and then now it's a big issue, and you should have fixed it. So is that? Yeah. It's just crazy to me that no one in the whole company came out and said, that's probably going to piss people off with the Torygate and whatnot, at the very least,
Well, it's because the people who are making those decisions aren't from there, right? So
right, exactly.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead. What was that, WebDave?
I was going to say Spider-Man and the flag. It was like
the Puerto Rico.
Yeah, that's crazy too. How did they screw that?
Yeah,
it's crazy, man.
Somebody should have been paying a little more attention, because
sometimes I feel like bigger you are, the more chance something will fall through the cracks, because it's like unless you have I don't know, but the whole thing,
the attention to detail isn't there, somebody else will catch it, that kind of thing.
Well, if you're a big company, like you're just doing your 9 to 5 and you're just someone else will take care of it,
exactly,
right?
100%. And who are you as like someone that's working on the textures of a you're the texture
I was told
guy,
to put this in there. I did what you told me to.
I want to know what it's for, and like, who am I to go talk to Mr. and Mrs. Ubisoft and say, Mr. and Mrs. Ubisoft, this isn't right, and they're like, you're fired. Maybe a lot of people are just afraid to talk. I don't know. Yeah, it's a job to some people. It's a passion to a lot of others. So anyway,
Mr. Ubisoft,
because
he was wishing to be Ubi hard. But anyway, what
Ubi hard? And Michael Transaction.
Ouch.
Mr. Michael Transaction.
Stop it.
Ubisoft is having some financial issues, right? Their games aren't going anywhere.
There is Tencent owns like 49% of it, so I wonder if they're just going to increase their stake a little bit and buy them out. You never know.
Yeah, we'll see
at a discount, right?
Maybe. But then,
pretty bad right now.
What does that do with the digital stuff with Microsoft?
Even the cloud streaming. Yeah, I don't know, but like the other part of that is, will the EU say, "Oh yeah, China, go ahead and own this"?
Yeah, that's true. They may have to approve stuff like that, and they may be like, "No, don't think so."
Oh no, they have to. 100%, they'd have to approve it. The question is, would they?
Right. Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, so would they do it? And they would probably raise a stink. So
they already have issues with Tencent, right? So good luck. I don't know.
That's true.
I don't know what happens.
They do.
So
all right, well, guys,
Microsoft's
thank you all for
buying
joining us.
them. Sony's not going to pony up. I just don't think they're going to pay for it, and Nintendo has no interest. So who?
I don't know.
Take
Sony,
EA.
Sony has too many other problems on their plate right now.
That's their problem. Exactly.
Yep. Exactly. Microsoft
$400 million they got to make back.
But I don't think they'd be allowed to. So there you go. Let's see. Was it Ubisoft's Japan? Yeah.
That's probably freaking true. And I did some researching on Wikipedia. According to Wikipedia, I'm good.
Yeah.
The main person who
not
was
so
doing all
much.
this was actually from, the Ubisoft is a French studio, right? So he's from France. He's a white dude from France. Nothing wrong with that, except, hey, if you're going to Japan, maybe you want to find somebody from Japan. I'm just saying, it might behoove you to
Or at
have
least
somebody who's
consultants.
lived in Japan. Who knows what the hell's happening in that country?
Yep. I'm with you. I'm with you. All right. Well, guys, thank you all so much for joining us tonight. We have over 300 people joining us here on X and on YouTube. Thank you all so much for being here. We greatly appreciate you. We are going to, if you just stay in the chat, hang out with us as we wrap things up, which will be momentarily. We are going to actually, it's automatically set to send you over to Pixelated Echoes, which is 3-Bit and Fuzzy Belvedere's show that's going on live right now. So if you want to, and if you do stay and join them, then make sure you let them know they've been rated by the Gamers Council. 3-Bit and they do some amazing work over there. So I appreciate them as well. So let's start off with the corner. Plume, Tony from the Plume Gaming Network. Buddy, please tell everybody where they can find you, where they can reach out to you, and how often your shows drop.
Yeah, you can find me every morning 8 a.m. On Plume Gaming on YouTube. So sometimes I put shows on the weekends. I did this weekend. Sometimes I don't, but generally Monday to Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday at different times. And then also on X, you can find me there as well. But yeah, thanks for having me on the show, Dave. It was awesome. Great conversations.
Love having you on, dude. Absolutely love your content and everything about it. And congratulations again. Hope everything goes well and smoothly for that. You'll have to let us know what's going on with that. Oh, dude, as like I said, we really appreciate you being on here, and you're so knowledgeable and the work you do and for the community and getting the news out there for everybody and making it really good and easy to digest. Thank you for that, man. We really appreciate you doing the hard work as you do.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Oh, well, no worries. All right, Red Wolf, buddy, please tell everybody where your show is, where they can find you, and of course, when Holly's on, that's the best part of your show. What? You got your mic muted.
And I'm muted. Let me try this again. Indeed, that's what I said. Yeah, so you can find me at Red Wolf Renegade on Twitter and on YouTube. The only Red Wolf Renegade on Twitter and YouTube so far. I'm doing okay so far. Yes, we have a weekly podcast every Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, with Holly, That Blue Number, Assassin Entertainment, and DeMarco Dude. We're trying to get more guests on because, you guys know how that is. It's a juggle. It's a jungle juggle. It can be tough, but it's us every single Tuesday. So it's always a fun show. Our show is it's hard to compare to really anything else. We just hang out and have a fun time and just goof off and just try to make people feel good and try not to get too into like the politics of gaming because I don't know what the hell I'm talking about when I'm doing that stuff. But also cover RPGs, Starfield, Witcher, Mass Effect, whatever, all that kind of stuff. Try to stay on top of the news and just regurgitate everything, which is always fun. You can follow me there, Red Wolf Renegade, on YouTube, on Twitter. WebDave, thank you so much for having me on again, man. I really appreciate you.
Oh, dude, thank you so much for being here. I love the content that you're putting out, and I hope your channel will continue to grow and be around for a long, long time. And we do love Holly. She is pretty awesome. So Holly, shout out to you. The blue number being in the chat. Appreciate you. We're going to have you back on here again sometime, darling. That would be awesome to have as well. So we have we're working on it. Hargeet Chani, buddy, please tell everybody where you're going to be and about your book and everything else you got going on.
Sure. So subscribe to my channel, Hargeet Chani 1 on YouTube. I did drop a nice little video about the PS5 Pro not selling. Enjoy that. Shop.china.us if you want to pick up my sci-fi novel Emergence. Enjoy that. You can get the merch if you want, or you can get a signed copy if you want. So go to that site and it'll point you to the right direction. And then my next, you see the mug right there. And then my next one will be with the doubleheader on Wednesday. It's Double Barrel Gaming, Boom's show, Primetime Gaming at 7 p.m. US Eastern, and then 10 p.m. with Fonz. So 10 p.m. US Eastern, Fonz Gaming. We'll be talking about whatever fun news we get over the next few days. I'm sure there'll be more things dropping as usual, right? So check those out.
Exactly. Dude, I appreciate you being here more than you know, and you're a big part of the show now, and I really appreciate it, man. Your hard work and everything that you do and everything that you bring to the show is awesome. So thank you again for
Thanks,
your
Red
time.
Wolf and Plume, for joining us.
Exactly. Thanks, guys. It's awesome.
Yes.
And thanks to everybody for joining us. And like I said, stick around. We are going to send you over to Pixelated Echoes. And thank you, everybody, for joining us here. If you get a chance, if you haven't subscribed already, please hit the subscribe button. We're just about a little under 10 away from hitting the 3K. So we would love to hit that. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. So so close.
Nice.
Yeah. So after 3K is 100K. So just kidding. But you know, I don't care. As long as we get to 3K, I'll be very happy. So again, thank you all so much for joining us here on the Gamers Council.
Game over.